of resources anymore. We're drowning in resources. The reason why we do a lot of things is in order to get rid of resources. That's why the U.S. has been in perpetual war for the last innumerable decades. It uses stuff up, which enables them to keep the shell game going. What I mean by that is think about it, when money can be created out of thin air because we have I missed the essential point there. The essential point is the marker for the next age. When I say unlimited resources, what I mean is there's scarcity of resources. Well, the pair for scarcity of resources is the need to survive, as in to have enough food, to have basic shelter, etc., etc. Unlimited resources means we can meet the need to survive for everybody on Earth. Therefore, that need is met. It can be met. Since it can be met, all of a sudden, well, again, things are different. It's like before everything was about competition for resources. If things didn't go well, you ran out of beans and you died. Or at least some people did. So that reality dominates everything we do. It dominates our society. It's what it's based on. The thing is, once you reach enough resources consistently to be able to everybody to survive consistently like that, you enter a new age. The first block is removed. The first block is scarcity of resources. That's gone. What's interesting is, I was like, okay, cool, that's gone. But the thing is, reality has a balance to it. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden, ta-da, unicorn for everyone, love and peace. But in practical terms, what it means is we move up to the next block, which is scarcity of labor. Think about it. Unlimited resources means that if people want some stuff, that's the second age when I think about it. But everybody can survive, and there's quite a bit of material wealth to go around. But what happens once you're not, no longer worried about just raw resources? You're still keeping track of them. You're still counting them. You're still, there's still an economy. There's still numbers flying around. People still work and get a certain pay. But nobody has to worry about, if you're at an absolutely shitty job, you can leave it. Because the worst that happens is, you've got whatever material stuff you built up, your TV, your basic electronics. You've got a small place to yourself or whatever. Again, it's different because with unlimited resources means, among other things, free power. Because we've had the resources to generate electricity for everybody forever, effectively, very cheaply, for forever. Again, people they're not interested in it. I mean, Tesla wanted to do that, and he said we would create power too cheap to meter. And there's innumerable ways of doing that. You can just sink rods into the earth and use the potential energy difference and all this stuff. Again, we can put a man on the moon. We have bombs that can destroy an entire city in one shot. You think we can't do that? It's well within our capacity. We just don't, because that would remove the profit motive. Anyway, that's the whole point, is that the people in the first age, who has, it comes down to, that's what I realized, I was thinking, why is this? Why do people, why aren't we there? Well, right now, the change from age 1, the age of resources, or the age of the scarcity of resources, is being held back. The transition to the next age is being held back. Who? By who? By the people who are on top, the people who control natural resources, as in oil, as in, and of course all alternative power sources from oil are minimized. If all of a sudden we realize, hey, we've got enough stuff for everybody, resources become they become less important, and all of a sudden, gee, if I don't want to work, if my job is completely crap and my boss is a complete frickin' idiot, I can just take my stuff and go home. It's not like you're gonna stop advancing, and you may take a hit in your career or whatever. but you're not going to starve to death. Power is free. You know, if you've got an apartment building or living in an apartment or whatever, I mean, that is free because, again, you build it. Like rent, you know, again, I'm not attacking the whole profit motive in general, obviously, but what I'm saying is, you know, it's like the Amish. A bunch of people get together and build a friggin' house, and a guy lives in it. Should that guy have to pay like an enormous rent forever? Like, essentially, you know, is that house gonna disintegrate and disappear if he doesn't pay this enormous rent? He has to maintain it. If he lives there, he probably will maintain it, and he'll need to, you know, do some work to do that, and so on. Yes, but you know, should he be under the boot of somebody forever? And I know you say, yeah, save up your money and buy your house. Yes, that's true. But I'm just talking in general, in the abstract. Like, if people are poor, is it going to destroy the world if, you know, the government, you know, I know there is government housing, but it's usually terrible. But again, in the abstract, if you can build people a place and they live there, then, you know, anyway. So in the future, when resources aren't artificially constrained, like there's this artificial scarcity, then again, it frees up a lot of stuff. Anyway, that's one of the interesting things. That's another one of the interesting things is back to that point. When scarcity of resources is removed as a block, as a barrier to energy, you hit the second scarcity, which is scarcity of labor. And what's awesome about that, though, what's awesome about the second age is it's not a problem. And in fact, that's what's really awesome is scarcity of labor. What I mean is, of course, if you have unlimited resources, then, again, what is the limit? What is the limit on human power? What is the limit on human activity? And, of course, it's workers. You know, if you can just... and that's what I've never understood. Like, I'm always like, how can we have high, you know, unemployment? It's like, you know, hire some people to figure that out. Like, why is there high unemployment? That fixes some of the unemployment right there when you hire them. Well, you know what I mean? Like, employment, well, again, it's the focus on resources. Because really, when you're doing stuff, when you're doing a job, you are attempting to improve the lot of other human beings. That's the whole point. You know, if you're selling them shoes, well, they don't have shoes. You're trying to sell them shoes so they have shoes. And you're attempting to improve their existence. You know, if you're working as a massage therapist, you're massaging people's bodies and making them feel better. That's always what happens. And the thing is, that has a result. If you do something for somebody, it does give them more energy. It does have a result. So I always thought, how can there be all this unemployment? Because you just need people to do stuff, which will have a benefit, which, you know, it just, what goes around comes around. But again, the limitation is resources. If there, you know, if you had a ton of people and you didn't have enough food, that's true. At that level, I mean, you can't make food just pop out of nowhere. So, you know, people will get shut out and people will die. But in our modern civilization, where we have to literally dump food into the ocean because the price is too low, you know, to be worth transporting somewhere to sell it on some occasions, not always like that. Again, it's insanity. Anyway, so the point is, once we've entered the second age, once we've acknowledged that, rather, the scarcity of labor appears, and that's awesome because, again, unemployment disappears. You'll still have, of course, people between jobs. You'll have, you know, there will be a small percentage of people who simply don't want to work. They just want to lie around and probably smoke legalized marijuana or, you know, whatever. But again, that's fine. That's another thing. That's another big topic, actually, that, you know, we've discussed, is that people who are against this, you know, the Republican types, the materialist types, the money-obsessed, status-obsessed types, they have a horrible picture of human beings. Like, they assume that, you know, if there was a guaranteed minimum, you know, decent housing, food, you know, free electricity, and people technically did not need to work if they just wanted to have the bare minimum and wear ordinary clothes and watch TV.